Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon at the Analytics Keynote. We are incredibly excited to go more deeply with you today, talk to you about data, talk to you about analytics, talk to you about Tableau. And thank you to everybody for the warm Dreamforce welcome to all of us this week. It's been incredibly high energy, fun, informative. Who was at the Tableau party last night with Macklemore? That's right, yeah. Amazing, fantastic. So we are going to talk a lot about analytics today. As we mentioned briefly yesterday, we're hearing all about the Customer 360, of course, this week, and analytics is a big, big part of that. You all have so much data, and Tableau is going to be, I'm hopeful, the next great piece to help you wrangle that data and make sense of it and further drive your digital transformations. Of course, within the analytics realm, there's a few assets already within Salesforce, which are great. Einstein Analytics for embedded CRM. I was just with some of those folks a little while ago today. And Datorama, another very exciting technology for marketing intelligence, particularly in terms of integrating all those marketing assets and making predictions. And we're very excited to be working with them. And then Tableau, of course, which now gives you even easier, more seamless access to enterprise-wide analytics. So regardless of your use case, regardless of what industry you're in, regardless of what kind of data you have the ability to intuitively, in a self-service, interactive fashion, work with it in Tableau. And we can't wait to continue to bring that to you. So we're going to dive deeply into that. The team has a whole bunch of exciting use cases and examples to show you. So I'm going to get off the stage and let's get down to it. So to start with, I would like to bring up our 7th employee, who is now our Chief Technology Officer. So please give it up for Andrew Beers.
Well, thank you, Adam, and good afternoon, Trailblazers. We are super happy to be here today, but since we are a brand new member of the Salesforce family, I thought I would start off to tell you a little bit about Tableau and who we are. We have a simple and singular mission. We help people see and understand data. That is our sole focus, those 7 words. And we have pioneered a brand new era of modern analytics, and we aren't done trailblazing yet. Tens of thousands of companies around the world use Tableau every day for their data and analytics. And many of them have rolled out analytics wall-to-wall to most or all of their employees. And these companies, they're all leaders in their industry. So I'd like to share with you a few of their stories so you can see the impact they've been able to have with data and analytics. Take this dashboard. It's from Coca-Cola. And they've used this dashboard to spot distribution problems at Walmart. The red bars there on the right, those are the problem areas that they found. And the work that this dashboard drove allowed Coca-Cola to recapture tens of millions of dollars in lost sales. Amazing result. Or this dashboard, which is from Booz Allen Hamilton. They analyzed billions of rows of data from US Air Force infrastructure data. Data about runways and air traffic control towers and housing used by service members. And through this data and this dashboard, they were able to really look hard at spending. And that means that the Air Force leadership was able to save US taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. And as a taxpayer, I really appreciate that. Or this dashboard. Alberta Health Services is using data to fight opioid deaths in Alberta, Canada. They use this dashboard to optimize the delivery of life-saving overdose medication to tens of thousands of Canadians who are suffering from opioid addiction. Amazing, life-saving results all done with Tableau. So it is stories like this, where data and analytics have triumphed, that really inspire us at Tableau. And when I joined Tableau 15 years ago, when we were just getting started to work on that very first product that we launched, I knew that data could change the world. And a bunch of the other Tableau folks, when they joined, they shared that belief with me. And we knew that Tableau could take analytics and the use of data and make it ubiquitous. But in order to achieve that, in order to make that a reality, we first had to deal with some of the myths that are in our industry. Now, you might be surprised to hear that a fact-based industry like data and analysis can have myths, but we do. And this one is one of the big ones. That data is only for data experts. That you have to be a data scientist or a data engineer to even begin to work with your data or to understand it. How can this myth even exist today? Well, let's take a look at some of the studies that are out there. This study says that only 24% of organizations have ready access to their data. Or even worse, this one, which says that only 8% of organizations ever achieve analytics at scale. Only 8%. That's really, really small. So many people look at data and they say, that's not for me. They say that data is too hard. They say that they're not data people. Well, we really have to bust this myth because we believe something entirely different. We believe that all people are data people. Everyone can benefit from analytics. Data is growing at huge rates, and it shows no sign of stopping at all. And we've seen that people who really master working with data and getting answers out of it through analysis and asking better questions, they are the ones that are pulling ahead. And it doesn't matter which industry you're in. You could be in marketing analytics, you could be in consumer goods, you could be trying to bring clean water to schools all over the world. In all of these industries, there are knowledge workers that have a profound opportunity to better their understanding of the world through analysis. There are 800 million knowledge workers in the world today. Some of them may be all of you in the audience, or people that work with you at your company. They could be sales analysts, or CRM admins, or someone on a manufacturing line. These are all knowledge workers that can benefit from using data. Now, you might say, really, 800 million people can benefit from using data? Isn't that a little far-fetched? Is analytics really going to be that big? Well, the answer, we think, is yes. And to see why, let's take a trip back through time. The year is 1986. Back to the Future is huge at the box office. PCs are the size of large microwave ovens. Personally, I'm in high school. Colleges like Harvard and many other universities across the country are offering a computer science class so that people can learn, get this, Excel. Now, isn't that crazy? You have to take a computer science class to learn Excel? I mean, high school students and grade school students are using Excel today for projects. Heck, my 9-year-old started learning it last month. But in 1986, if you were to tell people that Excel, that thing that was so geeky that you had to take a computer science class from Harvard to go learn, if you were to tell them that Excel was going to be on hundreds of millions of desktops around the world or more, they would have called you crazy. But that's exactly what happened. And it's what can happen with analytics when the right solution for critical data problems comes along. So when I tell you that in the fullness of time, that hundreds of millions of people are going to walk into work every day and use data and analytics on the job, that's not preposterous. And it's happening already. That's why we have built a modern analytics platform that serves a wide variety of needs. It's why we made it self-service and delightful and highly interactive. It's why it covers everything from data preparation and cataloging to analytical insights and the sharing and collaboration that teams need to succeed. It's why you can connect to any data that you might be interested in, and it's why you can deploy it anywhere, on premises, to the major cloud providers, or even in a fully managed SaaS environment. But that's not all you need to be successful with data. If you actually want to embrace data-driven decision-making, you need to prepare your team. You have to work on their proficiency. You have to teach them to speak the language of data. You have to have the agility to deploy enterprise-wide in a way that balances the flexibility that your users need and the security and control that your IT staff demands. And you have to have an amazing community of people that can support and teach and inspire each other. What you need is a data culture. A data culture that combines these three elements can really have an amazing impact on your use of data. Now, we understand building a data culture is really hard. But at Tableau, we want to help you build that culture that covers all of those three things. And that's why we have experts and methodologies and guides to help you along the way. And we want to make sure that we're connecting with all of the employees in your organizations, be they data experts or business users or knowledge workers or the IT staff that tries to support all of those systems. And that takes an amazing technology platform. So to hear a little bit more about the platform that we are building and to see it in action, please welcome Tableau's Chief Product Officer, Francois Agenstadt, to the stage.
Well, good afternoon. We are going to jump on this data today. We're going to go through a data journey together and see the full breadth and depth of the Tableau Analytics platform. Now, when we talk about the Tableau Analytics platform, we're talking about an end-to-end integrated platform that can solve any of your use cases. It enables choice and flexibility of where to deploy, on premises, in the public cloud, or fully managed. It gives you choice in data that you can connect to. Data that we can support over 85 different data sources out of the box. Data that's on premises or in the cloud. And we also provide powerful data management capabilities, governance, compliance capabilities built in. And of course, all of that supports simple, powerful, and intuitive analytics that everybody can use, that you can consume on desktop, in the browser, on mobile, or even embedded in your favorite applications like Salesforce or a portal. And everything has powerful APIs, security, and extensibility to enable you to get the right analytics to the right people anywhere in your organization. Now, one of the things that fuels Tableau, just like it fuels Salesforce, is innovation. Innovation is at the heart of everything that we do. And in fact, every single quarter, we deliver a new version of Tableau. A new version of Tableau with more capabilities to connect to data, to clean your data, new capabilities to see data in new ways, to share it more broadly, more enterprise capabilities to give you the security, the scalability that you need to deliver analytics at scale. In fact, if you just think of the last year alone, we delivered 4 new versions of Tableau and more than 200 new capabilities to the platform. We're innovating on your behalf. You're the fuel of Tableau's innovation, and we continue to accelerate that even more to make you more successful. And all of that enables you to have analytics that people love to use. Time and time again, we hear from customers how they love using Tableau because it brings their data to life. It's visual, it's easy to use, and it's powerful. And it's an integrated platform where everything works together, with security and governance built in, but it's end-to-end for all of your analytics needs. And you can deploy it enterprise-wide, so it can scale to all of your use cases. So today, we're going to go on a journey together. We're going to go from an analyst connecting to data, to sharing it broadly, to managing it at scale in IT. All right, so let's get going. And today, I'll be joined by Amy back there, who'll be driving the demo on for all of us. All right, you got this, Amy. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples. Here's an example of a dashboard built from Salesforce data. You can interact with it really easily. I can select different time periods. I can get details on demand just by hovering over any bar. Everything is interactive. Everything is visual. Now, this example is powerful, but here's another example from Boeing. Boeing uses this dashboard to plan aircraft traffic and figure out how traffic patterns are going to change over time between 2016 and 2036. And you can really see how things change and how aircraft traffic will change through that period of time. Now, data is powerful, but data is also fun. Here's an example of the top 100 songs of all time and how each of the Beatles wrote different songs. And we can see the top 100 songs from Paul McCartney, John Lennon, a few less from George Harrison, and sorry, Ringo, guess you didn't make it to the top 100. Now, however way you can think of your data, you can do that with Tableau. But what makes Tableau unique is not just a destination, it's the journey that you go through with your data. So together, we're gonna build a full analysis and a full dashboard in just a few moments. Now, in this case, we're looking at data for an organization called Kiva. They're a micro-lending organization. They give small loans to different people all over the world. Now, there's two key concepts in Tableau. There's dimensions and there's measures. You can see those on the left. These are the words and the numbers in your data. Simple as that. And if you know how to double-click, you know how to use Tableau. So Amy just double-clicked on funded amount, and we can see $1.3 billion of loans given out to Kiva. And we can see it in different ways. Let's look at it by gender. Double-click, we get our answer. We can see that women are getting more loans on aggregate than men. But if I want to see a different perspective, let's break it down and look at the average. Boom, just like that, we can see that although women are getting more loans in total, on average, women are getting smaller loans. I think we can improve on that. But that's just one perspective. Now, most of your data may include information about where things occurred. Where are my customers? Where are my products? And with Tableau, you can visualize geographic data, again, with a double click. So here we can see all the countries that received loans from Kiva. And we can color code it by the funded amount. And we can see which countries got more loans than others. And we can even animate it over time. So here we're going to play out and see the impact of Kiva spreading all over the world from one year to the other to the other. And we can see how Kiva's mission has been expanding, and we can really interact with our data very visually. Everything is fast, it's fluid, it gives you immediate feedback so you can get deeper understanding of your data and get more relevant insights. Now, one of the things you haven't seen us do, we've never said, please give me a pie chart or a line graph. Tableau has powerful visual best practices built in. We have a technology called Show Me that powers everything that you do in Tableau. So as you select different measures or dimensions, you'll see different visualizations light up. We suggest the right visualization so you can always see your data. We want you to keep you in the flow of analysis so you can really think about your data. So we can look at it as a table, a bar chart, a tree map, or maybe I want it as a line graph like this. And you can continue to customize it. Maybe I want to break it down as bars. So now we can see how each sector is doing every single year. And one of the powerful things in Tableau is that you can always change perspectives. Maybe I want to see it differently. Maybe I want to focus just my analysis on the sectors. You can start one where, follow a path, continue to analyze it, just as easily as that. And of course, if you want to get a complete view of your business, we're going to create a dashboard. And creating a dashboard is just like everything else in Tableau. It's drag and drop simple. You take the analyses that you've done, drag them into the view, and now everything is connected and interactive. Amy can select different countries like the Philippines, and you see your perspectives change. You can look at Kenya, and everything is filtered for that particular selection. That simple. Consider what we've done in a few minutes, right? There's a clap right there. By the way, our energy is fueled by your applause. So if you want to keep the energy level up, you can applause anytime you want. Deal? Yeah. Now we're talking. All right, I'm ramped up now. Okay, now you may not have Kiva data. Your data may be somewhere else. So how can we connect to it? Well, we're going to do another analysis here. And of course, everything in Tableau starts with data. And we can connect to over 85 different data sources. Wherever your data is, we can connect to it. SQL Server, Snowflake, Cloudera, Salesforce, we can get to it just with a simple click. So let's connect to our Salesforce data. Obviously, we have to authenticate, so all of your security in Salesforce applies in Tableau as well. We'll authorize Tableau, and we'll be ready to go. Now, you'll see that Tableau will provide a number of standard connections. We can drag accounts in, and we already know all of the joins and the tables to bring down because we've learned that from our customers, and we've made that really easily. But in this case, I want to focus just on the opportunities table. So let's get rid of that. Join. All right. All right, so let's just focus on the opportunity table, drag that into the view, and now we can start analyzing our data. And something funky is going on in the machine. All right, Salesforce questions. All right, now, with Tableau, one of the important concepts is that we support hybrid data connectivity. We can query databases live, and you leave the data in the database so you always have real-time access to your data, or we can load it in our fast hyper engine to make the data extremely fast. Now, here we're connected to our Salesforce data, and again, just like we did with Kiva, we're gonna analyze it with just simple drags and drop. So let's look at discount granted by amount for every account owner, so every single sales rep. Boom, here's a visualization. We can see which reps are discounting more than others, which ones have the most opportunities. And we see here there's an outlier, Jeff Simmons. Well, Jeff seems to be discounting a lot. You should probably have a conversation with them and see what's going on. But Tableau enables you to go beyond the what happened to the why it happened. We have a capability in the product called Explain Data that provides powerful machine learning and artificial intelligence to help you discover the why of your data. So with a single click, we're going to look at every single dimension, every single measure, every single row, and we'll find the needle in the haystack. Turns out there's one extreme value. There's one opportunity that Jeff has where he discounted the deal by 3,000%. Now, either the customer got a really good deal or there's a data problem. Well, we were able to find that with a single click. And we can always see different visualizations to help understand that data, that outlier. And in Tableau, there are no dead ends. I can go from Viz from Insight to Viz with a single click, and we can see that when we remove that outlier, Jeff wasn't that bad. It was just a data issue. He's in fact better than anybody else. Just that simple. Now, and we can continue analyzing our data. So let's look now at our amount by account owners. But it turns out that in most organizations, we don't just have one system of record. We have lots of data in lots of different places. So how do you combine them together? Simple. We're just going to connect our Excel file and blend our data on the fly. So just like that, we're going to combine our Salesforce data with our Excel data. We're going to bring in our quota from the other file into the view. You'll see that on the screen. We can go add powerful analytics, like we can add a reference line so we can see which reps are above or below quota. And I can even create calculations that combine data from two different places together with just a drag and drop. This is clicks, not code. This is simple to use and powerful. And now we see our data really, really easily. That's the power that Tableau can bring to all of your analysts. And of course, now we can share and collaborate and bring this to the entire organization. And to see how Tableau can be used by every business user in your organization, please welcome to the stage Vice President of Product Development, Ellie Fields.
I spent a lot of my time thinking about how to get the value of data out to more people. And I've learned that the best way to do that is to put data right in the flow of work. For example, a salesperson might spend her time in a dashboard like this that shows her the whole picture of her quarter in one place. Now, she might want to visually filter to those deals most likely to close, the ones in the quote negotiation stage. And when she does that, you can see the whole dashboard update. In the top left, we get an idea of what her quarter is going to look like if she closes those deals. And in the lower left, you can see some of the big deals on the table. And in particular, there's one that's large and close to closing, and she needs to land it. So from here, let's go over to the account page right on Salesforce, where she does a lot of her work. And as my colleague Eli scrolls down the page, and by the way, everyone, this is Eli Blankers running the demo today. Let's give him a hand. I think if we were a band, Eli would be playing all the instruments. As we scroll down the page, we see a visual summary of all the opportunities associated with this account. Wouldn't it be great if everyone in your organization could have this kind of data right when and where they do their work? With Tableau, you can embed visualizations in the Sales Cloud, in the Service Cloud, in portals, and in custom apps. Now, our salesperson has won some, and she's lost some. But right now, there are 4 big opportunities in play. What's her next move? From here, she could go over and take action right on the opportunity page. But she has some additional questions. And for that, we're going to go over to Tableau's interactive question and answer environment, Ask Data. Ask Data lets you ask anything of your data just the way you'd speak it. And that fundamentally changes who can work with data, because anyone can ask a question. So let's try it out. Let's see discounts in every state. As Eli types that, Ask Data is interpreting what he's asking and suggesting the right query. He can just hit enter, and we get a visual answer back, showing us that if our salesperson's going to compete in Texas or Illinois, she's going to have to be aggressive. But Ask Data is not just for easy questions. Let's ask a harder one. Let's compare discounts and order size for every opportunity. Again, Ask Data is listening as we type and suggesting the right query. So let's hit enter and see what we get. We have a scatter plot of all of our opportunities with that data. And Ask Data is interactive. So let's look at that outlier at the top and get some additional details on it. If you can type it, you can ask it. You can change everything in the field as well. Let's look at, instead of discounts, let's go over and look at profits. And again, a visual answer back. Let's keep refining this. I'd like to see this only in technology. Now, technology is a value in the field industry, but we don't need to know any of that. Ask Data has understood the data and knows it for us. So as we hit enter, we see that applied. Being able to use natural language is important because nobody ever says, select records from table where industry equals technology. Yeah, you can clap for that. If you do see that, come and see me after. I'd be interested to talk with you. Let's shift our perspectives and finally just make this a bar chart. We believe data is for everyone. And Ask Data delivers on that promise by translating from our natural language, the way we naturally speak, into database language. And that fundamentally changes who can work with data. So you can give data to the people on the shop floor or in the Salesforce or back at headquarters, and they can all get value from it. Now let's switch from who can work with data and start talking about how we can engage our whole teams with data. This is a dashboard a marketing team might use. And on the left are open leads, and on the right are primed leads. Let's see what the team is saying about this. So Ringo has noticed some seasonality in the data, probably due to some of these experimental campaigns we ran. Now, Ringo did not have as many hits as some of the other Beatles, but it's a little-known fact that he was really an excellent marketer. So let's see what he was talking about. And as Eli clicks the view, we see our view update with what Ringo saw at that time. Now, I noticed that the Mondays were particularly hot during this period. So we can select that and add our own comment and reply to Ringo. This is what collaboration with data looks like. We're not only able to get insights from the data itself, but we're also able to get insights from each other, from the experts around our organization, so we can all get smarter. And with Tableau, collaboration is built right into the platform. Oh, great. Now, data is for everyone, but sometimes you have to draw people into the data. This team has set a goal to hit 4,000 leads a day. So let's help them track that with an alert. We're simply going to create the alert, set the threshold, and then subscribe the team. And when we do that, the first time we hit that number, the whole team will be notified, and they can celebrate together. Now, there's some kinds of data that you want to set a goal on, and other kinds of data that you want with you all the time. In the morning, when you get up, when you go into your most important meetings. We are data people, after all. And for that, and this one's really cool, Tableau Metrics lets you track KPIs from across your business on any data. Let's create a metric here on primed leads. When Eli creates that, we'll have a gorgeous, glanceable summary of this important data fact. If you think about dashboards as the stories for your data, metrics are the headlines for those stories. And we can go see all the metrics from across our business in one place. They're all up to date right here, and they can come from any data source. So we get a complete picture of what's happening across our business. Now, having metrics in a browser is great, but where you really want them is in your pocket. So for that, let's head over to Tableau Mobile. This is where you stay on top of all your most important data. That metric we created is right there, and let's jump into it. Now we see a mobile native, beautiful summary of this KPI. We can go back and see the normal holiday lull. We can see that peak we identified around the spring. But it's not just a pretty line. Tableau is pushing information, pushing freshest data from Tableau Online or Tableau Server right onto the device. So it's always up to date right here. And we can ask additional questions as well. What if we want to see how we did on this metric versus last year? Let's simply select the last 30 days. Let's look at it compared to the same period a year ago. And in just a couple of seconds, we can see that primed leads are way up and the team is killing it. Yeah. Yay, team! In just a few minutes, we've seen how you can get data when and where you need it, how you can have an interactive conversation with your data, and how you can collaborate on your data and engage your whole team with it. And now, to talk to you about how IT can deploy and manage all that data at scale, please welcome Vice President of Product Marketing, Stephanie Richardson, to the stage.
And hello, data people, because guess what? Just by being in this room, you are officially data people. So thank you for coming. All right. Ellie and Francois just showed you the amazing things that people can do with Tableau. And organizations are using Tableau to empower everyone with data. So I'm here to tell you how the Tableau platform helps you manage analytics at scale, giving all of your users the freedom to explore data, but in a safe and secure environment. We're also going to talk to you about how we give IT the visibility they need to ensure that Tableau is always reliable, available, and optimized. So David over here is going to be our guide as we take a look around. Hello, David. Okay, so let's get started. So just imagine you've empowered thousands of people with the ability to explore data and build dashboards. You're going to end up with a lot of great content. So you need to make sure that it's easy and secure for all of your users to navigate that content, find what they need, and maybe even discover that perfect dashboard that they didn't even know existed. So this is Tableau's home screen. From here, users get direct access to the content that is most relevant to them. They can find content they've favorited or that they've recently viewed. And they even get personalized recommendations. These recommendations are powered by machine learning, and they surface content that is trending or that others like them have found useful. It's kind of like Netflix for your data. And don't worry, like everything else in Tableau, these recommendations are subject to permissions. So you can make sure that the right data stays in the right hands. With Tableau, you can be confident that your data and your insights are always kept safe. Okay, now let's have a look at how we give IT the visibility they need to monitor and manage their environment. Tableau provides a wide range of system monitoring tools that let you stay on top of what's going on. You can see what your users are doing, what data is being queried, and generally how the system is operating. So let's have a look at one of those now. So this admin view is giving me information about the traffic that my data sources are getting. I can see on the top left which of my departments is the most active, and I can see on the bottom specifically which data sources are getting queried the most. I can see that Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and Budgeting and Planning are my most popular data sources, and I can prioritize those when I plan my maintenance. These are the exact type of insights that IT needs to really refine and optimize their environment. Okay, but another essential part of analytics at scale is ensuring that the right people have the right data. Because if you can't trust your data, you can't trust your insights either. The Tableau platform includes self-service data management capabilities that are integrated directly into the analytics experience. So let's have a look. So the first part of getting data ready is you need to prepare it, because unfortunately, data is rarely perfect. Data needs to be prepared, it needs to be formatted, aggregated, joined, pivoted, you name it. A lot of things need to be done to data to get it ready, and data preparation is hard. But Francois just showed you how Tableau makes analysis visual and easy, and we've done the same thing with data prep by introducing Tableau Prep. Tableau Prep is so easy that business users can prepare their own data for analysis. Here's a flow that one of my users has created. It might have been Ringo, actually. Apparently, he's great at data prep as well. So they've pulled in data from 3 different data sources. They've added in quota seller information, and they've even taken advantage of some of our AI data cleansing features to save time on some tedious tasks. So Tableau Prep lets your business users tackle and transform even the trickiest data to get it ready for analysis. Okay, so now you have the right data in the system, it's all ready to go, but you still want to be able to see how that data is being used. And that's why we've introduced Tableau Catalog, to show you what data is being used, how, and by who. So this is the main screen of Tableau Catalog. From here, I can see all of the files, tables, and databases across the entire system. I can see which ones are the most popular, or which ones have been certified. I can even see which ones may have a data quality warning. This gives my IT team a comprehensive view of all of the data across the entire system. Now from here, I can dive in, I can click on a data source, and then this shows me all of the tables within that data source. Let's have a look at the product table. So Tableau allows me to give detailed descriptions on all of the columns within this table, so I can ensure that all of my users have a common understanding of how these fields should be used. Now let me show you my favorite part. Have a look at the right-hand side of the screen. This is the Tableau lineage tool. This gives you a visual graph of all of the upstream and downstream relationships between this product table and everything else on the system. So you can see how it is all connected. Now what's really cool about when it comes in really handy, this lineage tool, is when data's changing, which as we know, it often does. So with just one click, I can see the impact of a change in my data down to the specifics of what content is going to be affected. And Tableau even tells me who owns that content so that I can notify them and let them know what's going on. So Tableau gives you the visibility, control, and impact analysis you need to ensure all of your users have accurate and trusted data for analysis. Now, all of this metadata is great for IT, but it's also really valuable for the users. And that's why Tableau brings this metadata directly into the flow of analysis. So let's say one of my users is looking at this top accounts dashboard. They can go into data details and see exactly where this data came from. They can see that it's a certified data source. They can see when it was last refreshed. And they also get all of those great detailed descriptions on all of the fields and calculations that are being used in this dashboard. So they know how to interpret the data and they know what's going on. So by giving your users more information about what's behind the viz, You can increase the trust and confidence in what they're seeing. So you've seen today how Tableau lets organizations empower everyone with visual, easy, powerful analytics, all while giving the IT team the security, governance, and visibility needed to operate at scale. Now, there's one more thing that is very special about Tableau, and to tell you a little bit more about that, it's my pleasure to introduce our SVP of Marketing and Communications, Adriana Gilminer.
Hola Dreamforce, ¿cómo estamos? It doesn't look like the subtitles are working today, so I guess I'll have to do this in English. All right, well, you just saw how a rich analytics platform can help you build a successful data culture for everyone in your organization. But there's one power that you as trailblazers know just how critical it is for success: the power of community. And we at Tableau have an incredible community. In fact, we just came here straight from Las Vegas. We were celebrating our 12th annual conference. Yeah. We brought together almost 20,000 data rock stars from all over the world. And do you know what happens when 20,000 data people land in Las Vegas? Data comes alive. We got together, we inspired each other, we learned from each other, we shared use cases. We had people from Disney and Nissan and Expedia and hundreds of other companies sharing how they are succeeding with data. And all of that energy, all of that inspiration just pumped us up to come here to Dreamforce and introduce you to what the Tableau community can do for you. Where's my Tableau team? There we are. Thank you, team. So let's get started. First and foremost, the Tableau community is about promoting learning. And through our academic program, we have empowered over 1 million students and instructors to bring analytics to the classroom. What that means is that we are creating a whole generation of data-native people ready to go into your workplace and create impact with data. And when I say data natives, I really mean it. I got a chance to go to Singapore and judge a national viz competition that we organized with the Ministry of Information. And we had students as young as 13 years old participate and create analysis. Can you imagine that? It's incredible. But this community is also about helping each other, supporting each other. And they do that online, answering thousands of questions in forums, or offline, where they get together in user groups. And we have over 500 user groups in 65 different countries. And at the heart of our user groups are people like Pooja Gandhi and her fiancé, Adam. Guess where they met? Through Tableau. Yeah, so these people are so passionate about sharing their knowledge of Tableau with others that they take it upon themselves to create programs to enable new data skills. In fact, Pooja there created one of our user groups. And in her own words, the Tableau community will not let you fail. So you see, when you run analytics at Tableau, you get access to thousands of experts like Pooja and Adam that are right there for you to support analytics at scale. And Tableau community is also about sharing. They share data stories that make data part of our daily lives, not just at the workplace, but whatever we do. And they do that through Tableau Public. Tableau Public is our free consumer platform for anyone to create and share data visualizations, just like a YouTube of data. And speaking of YouTube, Tableau Public is the largest repository of interactive data stories in the world. We have over 700, yeah. Like Francois said, applause is our energy. Yeah, so 750,000 authors. They've created 2 million visualizations. They've been seen over 2.3 billion times. What cut videos? Who needs them? Anyway, you can find anything you want on Tableau Public. For example, there are data visualizations like this one that show the terrible deforestation of the Amazon, or this one that show the reach of the space program in China. And if you're into sports, we got you covered. We have visits like this one about football, or this one for real football. No, I mean. We've even made it to Hollywood. That is a data visualization from Tableau, from the Kaiser Family Foundation on HBO, John Oliver's show. And perhaps the most inspiring is how this community comes together to create social good with data. In 2014, we created the Tableau Foundation to help our community change the world with data and solve some of the most complex problems we have. And we focused our resources in using data in the areas of climate, inequality, poverty, and health. One of the very special projects I want to share with you is a partnership that we have with PATH in a project called Visualize No Malaria. PATH is a global nonprofit, and they partner with the government of Zambia to mobilize community field workers in the southern provinces and arm them with data so that they could decide when and where to deploy vaccination and health centers. Let's take a look at how this works.
In order to defeat malaria, we have to have complete, timely, and accurate data. It's the thing that really guides where we put resources. And it helps us understand where do we have to actually apply either more prevention methods or where do we have to stamp out a flare-up of malaria before it emerges into something larger. In the nearly 20 years that I have worked in public health, I have not seen a partnership like this exist where there is such a shared sense of value and purpose.
You can't make any decisions without data. Many would look at numbers or look at a story.
Tableau, it's come as something which has saved our lives, particularly my life, because I'm finding it so easy. It's easy to log in, it's easy to get data at any time.
How amazing it is to see people making decisions with data that can actually save lives. And with that, I want to share with you these amazing results. Since we started this program, we have seen 80% reduction in malaria cases and over 90% reduction in malaria-related deaths. This is the kind of impact that we can create together. Imagine what we can do when we bring the trailblazing community together and the Tableau community together. I invite you to please come and meet us at the Tableau Lodge at the LN building right across the street, and let's start building that future together. Thank you.